we'll do one example today before we jump in. Minus 4. So, you guys might recall from yesterday that we had to simplify each side of the equation before we moved on. So, what can we do to simplify this side of the equation? Right, we can add our like terms. 5x plus 3x is 8x. So, mostly the new thing today is that there's a variable, there's an x on both sides. So, what do we do if there is an x on both sides of the equation? So here's the equals, we got an x over here. Normally we try to get the x by itself, right? We want to say x on one side equals the answer on the other side. So if there's x's on both sides, we want to remove the x's from one side. So how could I get rid of this x? Right. Because it's an added value, I could get rid of it by subtracting x. So I can, but if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. So what's 8x minus x? 7x. 8x minus 1x. And then after you do that, you have a normal basic equation. Okay? So that's kind of the main step. So you just get rid of the subtracted value, get rid of the multiplied value. We've seen this before, right? 6 divided by 7 is what? 6 sevenths. So you don't have to plug that in your calculator, just write 6 sevenths. All right. Got it? Where did we stop yesterday? Hannah says she wants to start today. What? Lauren, that means you're next. No. Maybe AJ or Luke, I'm feeling like. Is that AJ, did you do one yesterday?
Oh yeah, I did.
I think Brianna was the last one. Okay. So let's go ahead and write the start doing number 2. Number 1. Let's go ahead and write the entire problem down. Okay, Brianna, are you with us? AJ, what should our first step be?
Well,
Okay, I guess you didn't hear the intro. If there's x's on both sides, AJ, if there's x's on both sides, we want to get rid of them on one side. So how could I get rid of the 8x, or how could I get rid of the 3x?
take it out of the problem.
How? Okay, somebody who was listening, how could I do it? Bo?
You subtract 8x from both sides.
Okay, you could subtract 8x. Or you could subtract 3x. Why might you want to subtract 3x? It'd be positive instead of negative. It doesn't really matter though. I'll go ahead and do what Bo said. Subtract 8x. So we got 3x minus 8x is negative 5x. Then over here we have a negative 5. So now we have all the x's on one side, and we can get x by itself on that side. So AJ, now what's our step?
We subtract 5 from this.
Yeah, it's a normal problem now. I think a lot of us are still getting this wrong. Negative 5 minus 5. I guess if you're not sure, just plug it in the calculator, but that would be negative 10. And then what, AJ?
Then negative 5 divided by
divide by -5. So x is, alright, number 3. Luke, okay, everybody write it down. Is everybody showing work? Okay. So this one's a little bit more like yesterday's because there's something we need to simplify on the left side. Luke, what can we do to the left side here?
Distributive property.
Distributive property, what will it become?
3x plus 3 4.
Okay, and then we've got kind of like number 1. So now what do you want to do, Luke?
Subtract 8 from both sides.
Subtract 8x. Subtract 8x all together. Okay, subtract 8x. So I get 3 minus 8x is -5x.
Subtract 3.
Yeah, now it's a normal problem. Subtract 3. Forgot my x.
Divide by -15. 5.
Divided by -5. So they're getting longer, right? That's why we're only doing 20 of these. I did throw on 32 and 33 because I knew you guys would appreciate that.
Are they word problems?
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Don't mention it. Number 5. 3x equals 5x minus 2. This one looks a little bit weird. It's actually shorter though. Davin, what do you think?
You would you subtract 5x?
Yeah. So you could subtract 3x to both sides, but to get the x's by themselves quicker, since there's only x's on the left, I would try to get rid of my x's on the right. So yeah, minus 5x. So that would be negative 2x equals negative 2. Divided by negative 2. Alright. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. Remember, if you wanted to, you could plug that in and see if it works. 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 1 is 5, minus 2 is 3. Yeah, both are 7. Maybe we'll skip a step in our heads on this one. Oh, and what's the right side going to simplify to?
11x plus 9.
Right. The 12x minus 1x can combine to make an 11x plus 9, so if you want to skip that step. Oh, totally forgot about the weird ones. This is one of them.
No solution problems.
Well, there's no solution, and then there's also all real numbers. We're going to have one of each on the odds and one of each on the evens. So, but you keep going normally. Owen.
Subtract 11x on each side.
Subtract 11x. What? Why is this weird?
Because it just says -8 and +9.
It says -8 and 9. So all the x's went away, and we got a statement -8 equals 9. Is that true?
No.
Okay, what it means basically is that no matter what I put in for x up here, nothing will work. So if your x's go away and you get a nonsense false statement, then that means nothing works and the answer is no solution. So you could either write the words no solution, or do you guys know the symbol?
In.
It's O with like a slash through it. So if you just put that symbol, that's fine. It just means nothing. Doesn't mean zero, it means nothing. Okay. So, alright, let's just keep on here. Number 9, 6x minus 4 equals x plus 4. Alright, Case, what should we do on this one?
We just subtract 1x from both sides,
Okay, you could subtract 1x.
which would leave you with 5x minus 1 equals 4. Then you would go plus, then you would add 4 to both sides.
Yeah. We're trying to get x by
Or
itself.
add 1.
Add 1.
Both sides. And then divide by 5. Then you get x equals 1.
Yeah. We're trying to move everything away from the x side. So that's why we added the 1. Alright, number 11. I guess I probably better write all that down. Alright, Jesse, what should we do first on this one?
You should use the distributed property to get 5x minus 20 plus
Okay.
4x.
Okay, now what?
Now we simplify the equation by adding 5x to 4x.
5x plus 4x, 9x, so we got 9x minus 20.
Then
You
you
guys notice something weird about this one?
subtract 9x from both sides of the equation.
So we would get negative 20 equals negative 20.
Would we write this as true or just not?
Well, it is true. So what it means is the left side and the right side are identical, so no matter what you put in for x, you'll get something that works. It's kind of like if you say x plus 2 equals 2 plus x. Well, no matter what I put in for x here, it's going to work, right? So that means everything's going to work. And that's basically, it's a little more complicated looking, but basically they are the same thing on both sides. So everything's going to work. How do I say everything works? Okay, it's all real numbers, which means every number that exists works. Or the symbol for all real numbers is like a fancy R, like a double line. Or you could write out all real numbers. Just means everything works for x. So if the x's cancel out and you get a false equation like negative 8 equals 9, that's no solution. If the x's cancel out and you get a true, like negative 20 equals negative 20, that's all real numbers. You are going to have one of each on the evens as well. So just look the odds, I guess, if you forget what's what. If you took, hopefully you wrote some stuff down. Y plus 9 equals 2y minus 4. All right, Leah, you know what the first step could be?
Minus 2y.
Minus 2y. So this is 1y minus 2y, so you could just do like 1 minus 2, negative 1. So it'll be negative 1y or negative y. Plus 9. Now what?
You subtract 9.
Mm-hmm. So if negative y equals negative 13, what would y equal? 13. It's kind of like, we talked about this yesterday, I think. Divide by negative 1 on both sides, it just turns it into positive y equals positive 13. You switch the signs. Fifteen. 8a equals 4a minus 7. Let me see if there's any fractions today. Yeah, okay. 2. I see 2 fractions or decimals on the evens. We're about to get one on the odds too. Okay, 15. Abby, what should we do first? Yep, distribute that out. So that'll be 4a minus 36. Now what? Subtract 4a. 8a minus 4a. Probably have a test like next Friday or so. I haven't mapped it all out yet, but that's what I'm hoping. You guys think you might do well on this test, maybe? Remember a trick on this chapter, because there are so many equations, you can always put it back in and see if it actually makes the two sides equal, if it makes the statement true. You can check your work, so that's a helpful trick on a test. 17, uh-oh, it's getting big. 4a minus 6. Brooke said she wanted the challenge. Brooke, your dad came to pick you up yesterday. Somebody was like, "There's a cop here to arrest her." Yeah. Distribute. This one you could use the distributive property, but we could also do parentheses, because what's 3 plus 4? 7. And so what's negative m times 7?
Negative 7m.
Yeah. If we did the distributive property, it would just be minus 3m and minus 4m.
But it still work though.
Well, does that equal the same thing as that? Whoopsie. Uh-oh. I think I pushed this one. There we go. Yeah, so negative 3m minus 4m is minus 7m, right? So same thing. Yeah, distributive property does not change the value. All right, Brooke, now what?
4n minus 7n. Then add 3n to 8n.
Okay, yeah, we haven't seen this yet. If you have a minus 3m, you could get rid of it by adding 3m to both sides. You could still subtract 8m if you wanted to. Okay?
And then add 2 to 8.
Yeah, kind of going backwards because the m is on the right. Negative 24 plus 2. Negative 22. Think about it on the number line. Negative 24 is way to the left, and if you add 2, you're moving to the right. So, negative 22 divided by 11 is negative 2. $19. 0.5 25x minus 3. Tomorrow we will we'll talk about a way to get rid of decimals, but you don't really have to get rid of decimals. You can just still do the normal stuff. Tomorrow's kind of about how to get rid of decimals and fractions in the problem. But you don't have to get rid of them. You can still keep going. I guess Jackson.
First you would subtract 0.75.
Okay, subtract 0.75x. What's 25 cents minus 75 cents? Or what's 25 minus 75? Negative 50. Or negative 0.5x.
Then you would add 3.9. Divide -0.5.
Yeah. Be kind of hard to do this quickly. Dividing by a half is the same thing as multiplying by 2 though. So really it's like multiplying by -2. So not quite as hard as it seems. So it's negative 22.18. Okay, 33, or 33, yes, that's right. So these will make kind of small equations down here. We just gotta. Okay, write the equation and solve. 3 subtracted from twice a number. All right, Moses, what would that look like? 3 subtracted from twice a number.
So 2n minus 3.
Right. Twice a number means 2 times a number, which we don't know, so it's n. 3 subtracted from that would actually be minus 3. Then it says equals what?
31 plus 3n.
Right. 3 times the number. So it looks like one of the other problems now with n's on both sides. So Moses, what should I do here?
So you subtract 3n from that side, from both sides. Get to negative 1n.
Yeah, negative 1n or negative n.
Then you do add 3.
If negative n is 34, n is
Negative 3.
negative 34. All right, keep on rolling. You need something?